What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are your hosts, the Distorted Theorists, with another one of our throwback trailers. Today we are talking. Yours. I know it's one of my gems. We are talking about Jurassic Park. Way back in 1993, Steven Spielberg graced us with two insane movies over the course of 1 year. Yeah,
what was the other one?
Schindler's List.
Oh, see, I've never seen that.
He was working on pre-production of Jurassic Park while he was finishing up Schindler's List. It was nuts.
Well, before we get into the Jurassic Park side of things, as always, if you guys love these throwbacks and you want to support the channel, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're a dinosaur fan like my boy Peter, leave us a comment down below. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park, and what has it meant to you over the years? And now, well, it's spanning a franchise, but
another franchise.
Way back. We're going way back to Jurassic Park. Peter, something practical effects.
Oh, and it worked. Stan Winston's creature effects and everything. And originally they planned on doing the raptors in it were supposed to be people in suits, and they had every trained. Yeah,
I'm learning here too, folks.
There's a person in the trailer that always comes up as Phil Tippett, dinosaur supervisor, and everyone always makes the meme. It's like, Phil, if you had done your job, people died, Phil. But because he was the dinosaur supervisor, is because he was in charge of the people that were supposed to be in the suits for when they were walking around, but they eventually scrapped because the original, it was kind of a rogue incursion, a hijacking, if you will, of someone who was like, yeah, but I can make this look 3D, and they did it. It wasn't supposed to happen originally.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think Jurassic Park became such a classic? Why did it catch on and people just...
One, the novel that was written by Michael Crichton was a huge hit when it came out, so that was that. But there was nothing that was like it at the time. And Steven Spielberg has a way of really finding something like E.T. Like, no one was doing the friendly alien that came down. True. No one ever had done that. It was always like the alien and all that stuff. So when he did E.T., that was the first time we would see anything like that. Raiders of the Lost Ark, no one had really done the swashbucklers. They had swashbucklers or everything like that. But this was a throwback with the star power of Harrison Ford. And then what he was doing with Jurassic Park was he was following on, because there was a lot of stuff happening with dinosaurs at the time too, because with the era of the internet and there was more stuff being like televised for news and everything, there were people like, oh yeah, we found this T-Rex and we found this Stegosaurus, we found this all stuff in the Badlands in Alberta, where I'm from, was gaining a ton of popularity, especially around Drumheller.
So it was almost like a perft storm.
They
got that, and then Steven Spielberg, obviously, is a big name. I'm sure they were happy that he took on the project, or what have you.
And I was terrified of this movie. When I didn't see it in theaters, because I would have been 6, I think, when it came out, so it was over my head. And my parents were like, I don't know if you want to see that. I was like, yeah, okay. Because I was like, dinosaurs, and they're like, they
not these kind.
No, they people. And I remember when we got it on tape, on VHS, and I saw up to the part where the goat leg slams onto the thing.
Yep.
I was fine. We were like, oh look, there's the Dilophosaur. Where's the Dilophosaur? I was being like the kid in the car, being like, where are they? They're not there.
Yeah.
And then they just like, oh, then I could tell as like a 7-year-old, being like, oh, this is starting to go south. Oh, there's rain.
Yeah.
I was already picking up on the patterns, and then
boom.
Not even that. No, I didn't even get to the T-Rex. It was the sudden like poof on the thing. Well, I was like, and that was it for me. So I didn't watch it until a couple years later.
You know what? You got me pretty hyped up here now to relive the masterpiece that is Jurassic Park. So let's get into the trailer review, reaction, and breakdown for Jurassic Park right now.
Oh man, this is like old school 480p. Love it.
This is like 360. Also the score. Universal. We never really talked on the score.
We will.
Welcome,
Richard Hammond.
To Jurassic
I love
Park.
those Jeeps.
We've made
if I could get Legos of those.
Attractions so astounding that they'll capture the imagination.
The eggs.
It just the acting was so natural too, like it was believable, you know.
How'd you do this?
Becomes the greatest adventure of
such
all
awe
time.
when I watched this as a kid.
They do.
Can I touch it?
Sure.
Universal Pictures presents.
Yeah, see, it's all like happy right
this
now.
shot, the water, classic, iconic.
A Steven Spielberg film.
A Steven Spielberg film.
Senses of feeling all over the park.
Yeah, that's nice.
Say the magic word. Always gives you right.
You can't get Jurassic Park back online.
65 million.
It's so weird that these names are like Samuel Jackson was in this. Like you don't ever
was in
think
his
of
prime.
that.
Park.
Because this was... And that was it. Like,
That was just like...
And I'm getting, just from the way, like that, oh, that's such ER vibes. Like, man.
Be afraid is basically what this was.
No, it wasn't, because it came out and be like, oh my God.
But that's eerie, though. That trailer was eerie.
And you're like, oh my God, we're going to see it. And if you didn't know what it was, you're like, oh, we're just looking at dinosaurs. And they're running.
Yeah.
And it seemed at the first, when you saw the Gallimimus running across in herds, which was kind of near, like, in the final act of the movie. And it's up to that point, you're like, oh, they just seem to be getting in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And then you see the T-Rex right in front of you, we're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And then, I mean...
But yeah, you said, that... Ooh, the shot.
Well, I mean, there's so many...
And you know what that was? It was a guitar string. It was underneath... It was a guitar string that was underneath the dashboard.
How do you know this?
Dude.
Did you work on the movie
Dude,
at 6 years old?
I know
Be
so
honest.
much stuff.
Well, like I said, you are the dinosaur guy, but there's just so many moments that you can go back and, as cinematic lovers like ourselves, you have to appreciate that everything Jurassic Park brought to and continued to bring, I guess, to the world of movies and films and franchises. Like I said, we're on like number 6 coming up down the pipe. 7? Holy
Jurassic Park,
smoke.
Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World something, and then Jurassic World Dominion.
There's Kingdom in there, something Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom.
There you go.
Fallen Kingdom.
So, and then we got...
Very forgettable.
What's the new one that's coming?
Rebirth?
Jurassic
World Rebirth?
I'm not gonna
With
lie.
my girl, Scarlett.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm sure it'll be in our throwback somewhere. But The Lost World is my favorite.
The Lost World.
They took everything
was
from the
so
first one.
Good until the very end of it. We're like, why are we here? the whole San Francisco thing was just like.
Yeah, but you know what? But I think that holds true with the Jurassic Park franchise, is that they're always trying to one up the last one, right?
Yeah, and Jurassic Park 3 did not do it.
No, but the dinosaurs, they just keep mutating and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and scarier. I'm ready to kind of see something now that's more slender, more The Lost World. Okay, remember The Lost World? Hold on, The Lost World. I think the reason it did it for me, a lot of it was because you had T-Rexes, but it was the raptors. The raptors were on the heels.
The raptors were on the heels, but it wasn't just the raptors; it was the compies. Remember that they attacked the little girl at the beginning of the movie.
I know, yeah,
and then they got Buddy at the end of it because he got drunk and he wandered off.
Well, I'm just ready for, instead of going bigger and badder, let's go smarter and sleeker and agile.
But you don't need to worry about that, because that was the whole story about all Blue was a part of all 3 movies. The raptors are always a part of Jurassic Park. You can't get away with it.
I know there's going to be a manufactured one somewhere.
That friggin' thing that was remember the one with the deer in Dominion, where it was just like.
And because he had like claws like Wolverine or something. Can you give the people at home a Dilophosaurus for us one time? Sorry. That was a throwback in one of our older videos. Had to be done.
But yeah, there was so much. Did you know that the practical T-Rex that they had on set was haunted? There was so much stuff with the wiring that they had issues with it, that they constantly had to keep it fans on it, because it generated so much heat that it would create its own humidity. So at one point, when it wasn't even connected to power, this is the story, but it still had to be, there had to be 2 people. One person, I think, was near the top that would control the head, and there was someone that was in the body that would kind of like work parts of it. And it like turned on with them in it when it wasn't supposed to, with moving parts. They had to like get out of it. It was haunted. Sam Winston made some amazing things. And like I said, those raptors that you see at the very end when they're on... So the raptor that walks on top of the
cabinets,
the cabinets and everything, when the full shot is in, yes, that's CGI.
Right.
But the part where like you can see when like the feet come up and they go...
Yep.
That's obviously someone doing it. But at one point, there was someone that was going to be in like a raptor suit that was going to be
I almost would love to see
if
they made footage of
You can. They did. There is footage.
I bet they did.
It's like...
It's on the dark web. You found it, didn't you?
No. It's part of the documentary and everything like that. It was really cool. But again, the majesty of what it was the same thing as Star Wars when it came to Jurassic Park, in my opinion, and Indiana Jones. Like Steven Spielberg was a part of that. And But the common denominator between all those three movies and franchises is John Williams. John Williams makes amazing film scores. He did Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. He did Superman, the original Superman. He did so many of this stuff. Back, and it was so good for all this. And Steven Spielberg, along with his cinematographer and everything, they did so well. And I think to this day, like Jurassic Park with inflation is still one of the highest grossing movies of all time, especially with opening weekends.
Again,
the T-Rex is one of the biggest villains. Like, it's Darth Vader. Like, the T-Rex is there. The guy from Hellraiser, Predator, Alien. Like,
I wonder if when they were making it, they ever thought they were going to be where they were.
Steven Spielberg probably did. Sam Neill was probably like, I'm just going to make it.
Listen, like I said, the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Peter for his trailer reaction review
this was my thing.
And breakdown for Jurassic Park. It was his thing. He's the dinosaur guy. As always, if you enjoy the throwbacks and you want to leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let us know. Do you know more than Peter? Because I want to see someone.
Oh, someone definitely.
Someone one up him, please. Correct him on
I'm
something
okay
wrong that he said, because it makes my day. And with that, I am the real Jussy.
And I am. And like we always say around here,
keep it real.